Hello everyone, Ron Johnson here from L.T.L Tutoring Central. I hope you're doing okay. And if you're looking for tips and strategies to help with your learning, you are in the right place. In this video, we're talking about kinds of adjectives. So there are several different kinds of adjectives. We'll start with descriptive adjectives because that is what we normally think of when we think of adjectives. They're describing words. Normally when you first learn about adjectives, you're taught that they are words that describe nouns or pronouns. So for example, a minor incident. Minor would be the descriptive adjective modifying incident. Or an enormous car. So enormous is the descriptive adjective modifying car. It's telling us something about the car or describing it. You could also have happy children. So in this case, happy is modifying or describing children, the noun children. So in a sense, all adjectives describe, but some of them have more specific work to do, let's say. So we have limiting adjectives. And some adjectives serve to limit the nouns they modify. They tell how many or how much. For example, 6 cookies. So 6 is the limiting adjective modifying cookies. Or 250 grams. In this case, 250 is the adjective modifying grams. Or 1 winner. Now we're really limiting because we're down to 1. And so 1 is the adjective or the limiting adjective modifying winner. Normally when we say adjectives, we don't specify what kind of adjective, but it's good to know the difference in case you are being graded or marked and someone writes a comment on your paper. You should use a possessive adjective here so you know what that is, and that's where we're going next, to possessive adjectives. So my, your, his, her, its, our, and their, T-H-E-I-R, are adjectives used to modify nouns, and these are possessive adjectives. For example, this is my book. The book belongs to me, so my is the possessive adjective modifying book. Or here are your letters. The letters belong to you, so your is the possessive adjective modifying the noun letters. Possessive nouns also act as adjectives within sentences modifying nouns. For example, Mark's house is at the end of the street. So Mark's is the possessive adjective. It's a possessive noun, but it's acting as a possessive adjective in this sentence because the house belongs to Mark. Proper adjectives. When proper nouns are used to describe nouns, they are called proper adjectives. Now, sometimes grammarians and others argue about whether this should be called a proper noun in this case or a proper adjective. It's not really all that important most of the time, but it's just a good idea to have a general understanding of what the different kinds of adjectives are. So, for example, it's always better, I think it's always easier to get it or understand it from examples. The Japanese robot was impressive. So Japanese is a proper noun, but in this sentence it's being used as a proper adjective because it's modifying the noun robot. Or we went to the Halifax Festival. So Halifax is a city. It's a proper noun, the word, but in this sentence it's being used as a proper adjective to modify the noun festival. Then there are compound adjectives, and these are similar to compound words. If you remember compound words, a compound adjective is one in which 2 or more words are combined to create a single thought. For example, we just had a record-breaking snowfall. Record-breaking is the compound adjective modifying snowfall. Or Tom is a part-time employee. In this case, part-time is the compound adjective, and it's modifying the noun employee. Normally, if we have the compound adjective before the noun, it will have a little dash in between the 2 words. But if it follows the noun, we often don't put the dash. There's a bit of convention to be learned there, but that's kind of a general rule. It's not, as in English, there are rules, and then they are broken more often than they're maintained sometimes. But don't panic. Most of these will take the dash before and not after, so just keep that in mind. So there you go, just a few different kinds of adjectives. I have also put a blog up different examples. And also at the end of the blog, I have provided a couple of examples of sentences that use several different kinds of adjectives within the same sentence. So you could have a look at those. As I mentioned, it's always good to look at different modalities and learn from both listening and reading, and you can sometimes do kinesthetic learning, etc. But in this case, listening to the video and then reading the blog might be helpful. See some different examples, and some additional examples can also be helpful too. The more you rehearse, the more you remember. Okay, that's it for me on terms of kinds of adjectives. It's Ron Johnson from L.T.L Tutoring Central. Don't forget to like the video if you do. I hope you do. Subscribe to the channel. It has been growing steadily, but we can always have more, and it helps with the logarithm, and I really appreciate it. It makes it easier for me to keep making videos and to keep writing blogs, etc. In the meantime, keep learning, keep having fun, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye for now.